a sigh of disapproval because
oh, no.
my spot is not ready.
Failed.
Liz.
Failed again. Dang.
Make sure you get the proper... Do it. Vincent, go. Keep going. Oh, that was weak.
Oh, no, I didn't know I was supposed to go farther.
Good freaking morning. Did you and I do a live on Friday? I think we did, right? Was it Black Friday?
Yeah, we did.
I think we did. Vinny was late. And didn't show up.
I was, in fact, late and didn't show up.
Yep. Failed.
Pokey Leone.
Pokey Leone. I do not like wearing this sweatshirt with my freaking work polo underneath.
I agree.
Yeah, this thing's... One of them's coming up.
Because the collar is annoying.
Yes, the collar is quite annoying.
Underneath the hoodie.
Yes.
Wait, what if I play this game?
Is that what?
Now I'm angry.
Is that what your belt fit about?
Yes, I'm belt fed.
Yeah, you gotta.
Okay.
Here we go.
The collars are popping now, man. Hold on.
It's protection.
It
That's what
is.
You can't even see mine because I have a beard. Can't even see it anyways.
Here you go.
Oh, we should fold it down on top.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would look classy. Now it's a classy hoodie.
Straight out of Baldwin.
Straight out of Baldwin. Man, I feel ridiculous.
I can't wait to put my hair up. Winter's dumb.
Just collars job.
Where's your name tag? You don't have a name tag to print. You don't have sunglasses on.
I know.
You're
all jacked up this morning. Belt fed Monday. I don't know if I have a belt fed. I'll tell you what.
You just were.
I mean, I was. I mean, that's your fault, really.
You should talk about ice on cars.
Yes, it's dumb. Clean your freaking cars off. How about that? Liz was like, "Oh, it's so nice. I just remote start my truck and the snow melts off my windows and everything's good." I said, "No, that's not good enough. Clean off the hood. Clean off the top of the truck. You do it. Clean it off."
It did. It got cleaned off. It wasn't by me.
That's okay.
My oldest did
You
it.
have an automatic snow cleaner. It's called a 14-year-old.
Yes, he did a great job. I didn't even have to ask him.
Mr. Miller, good freaking morning, sir. Nick, good morning.
Hi, Andy.
Tube socks and flip flops.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
That's
like
the
We need
the
to
style now.
need to have a drill day where that's what we shoot. Short shorts, tube socks, flip flops, and tank tops.
But we say no open-toed shoes. Does it really count, though,
Do
if
that
you're
on
wearing
Thursday.
socks?
No, your toes are closed.
Are they, though?
They are.
I mean, if you consider the shoes I wear, then
Yes.
yeah, you're fine.
All right. I'm down.
No, I mean, happy after Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure we started to have a conversation about Friday. Did we talk on Friday? I think we did.
We did.
We did do a live on Friday. So happy after Thanksgiving.
We were talking about the Black Friday.
Oh yeah, all the Black Friday deals. It was kind of bonkers.
I had another
Friday.
Thanksgiving since then.
I kind of did, but not really.
I did, too. I had one on Friday.
I just had my wife's birthday yesterday, which was
Happy birthday, Cindy.
another Thanksgiving of eating food all day.
Oh, yeah. It's been a glorious weekend.
Oh man, not really.
Painful,
There's
but
so
glorious.
much.
Painful weekend.
So much food. I do have to. I'm going to brag a little bit on. Where the hell did we go eat?
I was going to say, like, you must not be a good brag.
I
I can't remember
forgot
what it is.
Mulligan's last night. We went to Mulligan's, a
Mulligan's.
place in Ellisville. They have fried chicken on Sundays. Holy crap, was it delicious. 4 pieces of fried chicken, a giant helping of mashed potatoes and gravy, some fantastic green beans, and 2 super soft rolls with big fat ass pads of butter.
Now I'm hungry.
$12.99, something like that.
Holy
it was
smokes.
crazy, and it was delicious, and I ate like half of it.
Mulligan's.
Mulligan's,
All right.
fantastic. And I'll tell you what, our server, his name was Luke. That dude, I don't know if he read the book on how to be a server, but he was like the most like outgoing, polite, making jokes, trying to get people to laugh, talking about how awesome we are as individuals. He was like working the tip from the very beginning, and he was awesome. So if you've not been to Mulligan's, go check it out.
Okay, I added it to my list.
Yes, fried chicken on Sundays. It was delicious. 20 days of no sugar. Oh, man.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, that's not easy. But on Thanksgiving, sugar overload. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Yep. I ate some cheesecake last night. It was delicious. Oh man, I just don't.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dessert when you're not dieting?
If I could have any Thanksgiving dessert, it'd be pecan pie. I love pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan
Thank you.
pie. But
Pecan?
Don't change it just because the boss said so.
No, it's pecan pie.
That's right.
It's pecan pie. Pecan.
You're out.
Pecan pie.
I'm not out. Pecan.
What do you guys think? Pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
And then tell us where you're from.
You gotta throw some emphasis
Yeah,
on
we
the
talked
others.
about this on Friday.
We did.
Because I said that it's weird because if I have a bag of pecans, that's what they are. They're not pecans. But for whatever reason, it's pecan pie.
And there was somebody that
Yeah.
used to say pecan pie. Is that what
Miss
it's
Debbie.
called? Trash pie. You take that back.
What?
Someone chose violence.
What? Say it again.
He said it's called trash pie.
Maybe.
Ryan.
Maybe. So James was telling me about a pie. I'm pretty sure it was called trash pie. That James was telling me about.
Oh.
That's got all sorts of.
Sorry,
stuff.
I take that back.
Never mind.
Maybe-
She chose violence.
Maybe he's saying pecan pie is trash. I don't know. Or he's saying there's another pie that's called trash pie that's delicious. I'm pretty sure that's what James said that his mom makes. He was supposed to bring me in a slice on Friday and he forgot.
I think pumpkin pie's got to be
On
my
Saturday.
go-to. Pumpkin pie is amazing.
I don't mind.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I ate some.
I
don't
do
mind
love
it.
pecan pie though. And French silk pie,
Apple pie.
apple pie. It's all good. I don't like the cherry pies or the blueberry pies with the fruit
'Cause of the skin?
in them. It's just
Is that-
canned fruit is other than apples. Apples and peaches are okay.
No, I choose violence.
Pumpkin cheesecake
High
is pretty
five.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm still
I will make a pumpkin
salty about
cheesecake
the trash pie.
That's funny. I appreciate it. Pecans are still delicious.
Hold on. I have a present for you guys.
That's awkward.
It is going to be awkward because I don't know if you're going to know what it is.
I totally expect him to flip me off.
I have one of these right here.
I freaking knew it.
What is it? Oh, I know what this is.
You know what that is?
Wait, it's a pen holder or something.
It's a bolt action pen holder. That's all I see.
It's a clip and you can put a pen in it.
Yes, for your freaking markers so you quit losing them.
You got us pen
Especially
holders.
Vincent. Yes.
It is bolt action. I knew
Oh
it.
my God.
It's a bolt
That's
action
amazing.
Sharpie holder.
Hold on.
Bolt action.
You don't get to
Sharpie.
keep my Sharpie, but
No.
I got my own Sharpie.
I'll show
This
you.
is amazing. Look at
A
it.
bolt action Sharpie holder.
you're putting it in the wrong way, Elizabeth.
Oh, right. Oh, it's not gonna.
Oh,
work.
yours is
Too
the wrong
fancy.
kind of Sharpie.
Dang.
You need to use an ordinary Sharpie.
No. I mean, maybe I will just because
Nerds.
this thing's cool, but what the what?
I couldn't pass them up.
That's awesome. Thanks, boss man.
Oh, sure.
I just want to run
It's
it
the
like a
little
bolt.
things.
I want to run it like a bolt gun.
So you don't have to do that. You can just pull it straight
just pull
out.
it straight
You
up.
could, but then I don't get to run it like a bolt gun.
I mean, that's fair. Where the hell
Bolt
did you
gun.
find this?
On Amazon?
You just what
The
were you
interweb.
looking
No,
for?
I was watching a video
Are
of
you-
somebody drawing a gun from a level 3 holster, and
Uh-oh.
I saw that on his belt, and I'm like, pen holder for belt. I looked it up right away.
Someone get the timer. Shit.
Failed.
Failed.
Shit.
You know you gotta have belt on a belt.
Anyway, what are we talking about here today, Miss Elizabeth? There
Don't
you go.
get
Oh, don't.
careful. Careful.
I got it carefully reholstered.
That's right.
I got it carefully reholstered.
Which brings us to our next point.
Yes, I'm gonna top up my coffee. I'll be right back.
Top it off already?
Well, it's just all the foam went down. I haven't
Oh.
even drank any of it yet. There's any more
This
stuff.
is cool.
It is kind of cool.
What if I don't wear a belt though? This is awkward.
Now you got to
Put
wear
it
a
on
belt.
your- You put it on your battle belt.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's not going to help you for a CCW class, but it'll help you for your other
But it'll be
classes.
cool.
It is cool.
And looking cool's half the battle.
It's true.
It is, yes.
Okay, you can
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Carrying with a round in the chamber. Whenever you
Are you
conceal
supposed to
carry.
do that or not supposed to do that?
Yes, you should.
So why did this
Well, it
question come up?
depends.
There was a question brought up in our Lady Sentinel members group. We have a members-only Facebook page where the ladies, the members only, can ask questions or say, hey, I want to go do this. Anybody want to go? Or let's talk about this. Let's share videos. It's pretty cool. So somebody asked about carrying with a round in the chamber. They had heard from a family member of theirs. So obviously when you hear information and guidance from your family members who you trust, in most cases, that they suggest you do certain things, especially if you're not, if you don't have a ton of background in that field, then you know, you want to take them for what they're saying, and that's totally understandable. I'm glad the question got brought up because there's some misconceptions on carrying with a round in the chamber or not, and especially with appendix carry. That seems to be everybody's scary place of carry, and I get it. You know, whether you're man or woman, there's a loaded gun, hopefully loaded, pointed at your femoral artery.
So, but here's what we hear all the time. Nobody ever says, I don't want to carry a gun appendix because I'm pointing at my femoral artery. They say it because I'm going to shoot my junk off.
I know.
That's what they always say.
I know, but that's why I said man or woman.
Yeah, I know.
Because,
And that's why I wanted to bring it up. Is
Yeah.
that's
The common
not
saying.
my concern.
Yeah.
If the gun went off, that would suck.
It's still low on the totem pole.
That would suck.
what? God damn it.
What?
You're welcome.
Anyway, yeah, it'd be, if there was a concern of the gun actually just going off, it would be my femoral artery that I would be worried about, not my junk.
Yes. So let's squash the gun going off debate. Oh boy, this could get spicy.
Yes, it's good.
It's hard.
Vincent!
Dang it.
No, I'm in the conversation. Jesus Christ. God.
Way over top.
No, right over the top.
Way above.
Unintentional.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyway, so modern handguns do not go off.
Let's just see.
God, I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Not just as.
That was my inside voice.
That was the inside
Did I say that outside?
The inside voice.
It doesn't happen.
Okay, let's just be
They're
real.
not supposed
There
to.
is a firearm in question that is a very popular firearm that is being highly challenged right now on its reliability on safety. I want to be clear about something though. There is the holstering process, the gear that you carry your gun in, and any modifications that you've done to your gun, all of these things, and your ability to holster. I think I already said that, holstering process. That all matters so much. It's really hard to judge the P320, the SIG P320, and you know there's some videos that really make it look like, okay, that was the gun. But I've also seen a lot of people holster their guns, and it's treacherous. It's terrifying. And when you see people holster their guns with carelessness and complacency, that's when typically bad things happen. Like I said, this is kind of an anomaly with the SIG P320, and it's hard for me to even say that out loud because I'm not trying to get anybody fearful of it. But I think that it's hard to just put 100% of the blame on the gun. I think that there's definitely things to consider. You know, whether or not the gun is safe. I think you should dig into it. But at the very least, I think that you should really make sure that you understand the holstering process and that you're staying safe with your gear, choosing holsters that protect your trigger, because the only thing that will make the gun fire is the trigger. And if you holster carelessly without looking the gun in the holster and looking down to make sure that there's nothing else in your holster, like a piece of clothing or something to that effect that could pull your trigger, you know, that's when bad things happen. So,
Can I step up in there real quick? So, hi. So I right now have a cert gun that shoots laser beams. Okay,
Point it at the camera.
Look at that.
They can't see
Okay.
that because you're not pointing it at the camera.
They can see the little red light.
Okay, they can see.
Anyway, I am going to point the gun at myself. This shoots laser beams. The internet might explode, but we're going to see what happens here. So I'm also going to pull the trigger so that you can see this little red light. Okay? This is what people, when they are careless because they want to look cool because of something they saw online or whatever, people are putting their gunaways with their guns away, put their singular gun away singularly in their holster. They'll be looking or they're talking to their buddies or whatever, and they will point their gun at themselves. Right now, let's see, where the hell's the laser beam?
You gotta take a step back. Can everybody see you?
There we go. Okay, so as I go to put this gun away, that laser beam is pointing at me in bad spots. I don't know if you can see that or not. I can't see it on the camera, but
It's there.
it's there.
You can see it.
So that should not happen. All right, I should look and make sure that I've got nothing in the way. If my shirt is untucked and stuck in my holster, I need to know that. If I just simply stuff this in here without looking, there's a possibility at that point then that my shirt can go into the trigger, the gun goes bang because the trigger goes backwards, not simply because the gun just goes bang. Let's see. Harry says, as a security guard while wrestling with a criminal, I was shot in the junk. I thought I peed myself until I noticed the blood. Luckily, it missed the artery. That's
Lucky.
Wow.
And I was going to say awesome. I don't know if that's the right word. It's awesome that it missed the artery.
Awesome
right?
that you're typing that out.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a chunk of the story. Like, I want to know more because, like, what was it? Was it your gun? Was it their gun? What kind of holster was it? What kind of gun was it? Like, all those things I want to know about. If you're a security guard, I'm assuming that you're carrying outside the waistband, like Mr. Vincent here, in a 3 o'clock strong side position, of which we'll show you safe holstering process for outside and inside the waistband to help you guys out with this. But I'm curious. So, Harry, if you wouldn't mind elaborating, if you don't want to do it on here, totally fine. But if you want to send us an email or call up here or something, I'm interested. But obviously, if you don't want to share that info, that's fine too. So, guns don't just go off. Okay? So first things first. Let's say, like, for example, if we need more information from Harry's story, but let's say if you do get in a tussle with somebody, you do have your gun secured in a good holster. If you fall hard or you're wrestling around with someone, the jostling of the gun falling, on you is not going to make the gun fire. There's a video of he's actually an FBI agent. Well, he was. He did a backflip at his holiday party, and the gun fell out of his holster while he did a backflip. Which he did a backflip. That was super cool. The gun landed on the floor. Like, it was completely loaded, landed on the ground. He snatched it up very quickly, and when he did, he pressed the trigger and made the gun fire. The gun did not fire from dropping. The gun did not fire from falling out of the holster. The gun did not fire all by itself. I will tell my students this in class oftentimes. If I had a gun loaded and it was pointed at me, I would stand in front of it, no problem. It would not bother me whatsoever until I put hands on it, until somebody else puts hands on it. Oh, CCW class. I think it was Will's class.
Yeah, it was Wednesday or it was sometime this week.
It was a week or two ago. One of the students had a piece of brass go down their shirt, and they dropped the gun. And when they dropped the gun, it turned backwards, and so it was facing uprange, so on the bench, and pointed towards both of us because I was standing next to her and the people behind us. So she wanted to grab the gun to obviously pick it up and turn it back in the safe direction and everything. And I said, hold up, stop. So I just made us part ways so that way the gun had a safe direction. And I made her get out of the way and everybody else get out of the way. And then I carefully picked up the gun and then pointed in the right direction to keep it in a safe direction. Guns don't just go off. People make guns go off. So that's the first part of it. A good holster. If you have a holster that is you have access to the trigger, that's bad. Whether clothing gets it, whether fingers get it, whatever it is, that trigger should be covered and secured ideally with some sort of Kydex, like hard plastic, to where there's, like is yours going to snap into place?
Well, not so much with this gun, but
it's molded to the trigger guard.
It fits. You can maybe hear it. When it pops in there, this retains it, and this also keeps me, there's no way if I push on this holster in any form or fashion that I can make the trigger go off. I also cannot get my finger in that gap to get the gun to go off. So, are there holsters that cover the trigger that still allow you to pull the trigger? Yep. Fabric holsters.
Yeah.
All right.
Belly
one
bands are
of
bad
them.
for it.
Yeah. The straight up basic belly bands.
Not a fan.
Please don't put a freaking gun in that thin,
Fabric.
stretchy fabric. Please.
Yep.
In my opinion, a lot of people will argue with me on that, but don't do that.
Yeah, for sure. And then you see those retention straps on those belly bands because everybody's worried about the gun falling out, and it's those retention straps are
Yeah, so
terrible.
they'll put a retention strap on it because it's a very thin, flimsy material. And where do they put the retention strap?
around the grip.
Right here, which is what you're supposed to hold on to.
It's bad.
That's a terrible idea.
It's bad. Good morning, Mom. It was over 20 years ago. Their gun, it was in their hand. I wasn't allowed to carry on this job site. I was in a hospital outbuilding site that they had broken into to steal drugs from. So that's that. Thank you for the clarification because, it's good to know that it wasn't your own holster that was in a holster. It wasn't your own gun in a holstered condition or not a holstered. Oh, that's another story I have. Or not a holstered condition on your appendix that made the gun fire. I had another student in class one time.
I just want to clarify real quick. I think that story was to prove the point of it's much better to be shot in the junk than in the femoral artery because he probably wouldn't be here if it was in the artery.
Absolutely. I had a student in class one time. She was terrified to be there, and one of the reasons was because there was some trauma in her past on a gun firing. To her knowledge, it just went off, and it was the gun's fault.
Because that's what do people say all the time? When they have an ND, when they have a negligent discharge,
Favorite quote.
it just went off.
It just went off.
every time.
That's not the case. Not ever.
No.
Good old Alec Baldwin said it. No.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say not ever, but I had an ND with a rifle.
Oh, like slam fire.
Yeah, when I closed the bolt, the gun went off. Now I still caused that, but the gun malfunctioned. The gun was pointing in a safe direction, all that sort of thing. When it happened, it scared the crap out of me.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? I'm standing there. I'm actually standing up, and I was just shooting one round at a time. I took one piece of brass out, put it down, put the next round in, closed the bolt. And when I closed the bolt, it went boom, and man, it startled me for sure.
Go ahead, change your pants.
Yeah. Now, totally different safety systems, right? In a rifle than there are in a pistol. We haven't really talked about, I don't know if we need to really get into it, but with she talked about modern semi-automatic handguns. They have safeties built inside of them, not necessarily a manual safety, not an on-off switch on the outside of the gun, but they have safeties built into them so that the gun cannot go bang unless the trigger physically moves backwards.
Yeah.
Okay?
And to the point of the safety rules, that's why you always treat all guns like they're loaded. It's a mechanical device, and if you always keep it pointed in a safe direction, God forbid something actually did happen, it's going in a safe place. So always keep it pointed in the safest direction possible, unequivocally. So the student that came into class, she was reluctant to be there, and she was telling me a story how her brother was holding his infant. Everybody was fine. Just want to clarify that. And he had a gun tucked in his pants, and she said it just went off, and it didn't shoot him, but it did go off, and it scared the crap out of everybody. So she was very terrified to think that guns could just randomly fire, and I can't tell you how many students come into class with that same understanding. Yeah. Once we go through the safety rules and we talk about how to be safe with a gun and what makes the gun fire, everybody seems to just calm down, just because to have those questions answered are huge. But it was a really tough discussion with her to explain that it was her brother's negligence that caused the gun to go off by having the trigger pulled by his pants, because his gun was not tucked in a holster. It was just in his pants line, in something, maybe it was part of his jeans or his pants or whatever, pulled the trigger and caused the gun to fire. So, and that's a tough pill to swallow when someone that you love has an accident like that and they blame it on the gun. And so now you have this fear.
Yeah,
and
you don't know any better.
Yeah.
They are the gun person in your life. So when they say, well, the gun just went off, well, you believe them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they believe it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a great video that went relatively viral of a guy in a fast food place, a pizza place or something.
Yeah, I
Oh
remember
my
that
gosh.
one.
And he's screwing around in his pocket, and all of a sudden his freaking gun goes off. Doesn't shoot him, thankfully. He sends a round into the floor. All the employees start looking around like, what the heck was that? He 100% knows it. He
Yeah.
starts doing that too.
Yeah.
Like,
What
Yeah.
was that? Was that outside?
I don't know.
He said the door slammed hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he 100% was
Knew what it
screwing
was.
around in his pocket and pulled the trigger on a gun in his, I don't remember, his pants or coat pocket or whatever.
Yeah, it was his pants pocket. But the only reason he did that is he didn't want to claim responsibility
Right.
for his actions.
Yeah.
So he wanted to blame it on the car outside or the door slamming because he knew what he did.
Yeah.
He knew what he did. He
Absolutely.
just didn't want to claim the responsibility of the actions of his choices.
There's another video. Sorry, miss. There's another video out there of a guy who's carrying a gun. This is in a Walmart. In his, I'm pretty sure it was sweatpants.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Well, he was having a hard time too because he kept screwing with it.
Weapon retention check.
And what ended up happening is he ended up pulling the trigger while it was in his pants. He grabbed a hold of it and tried to pull it up, and the gun went boom. And same type of thing. Thankfully, I'll say thankfully because it's a polite thing to do. Thankfully, he did not get hurt. But same type of thing. He was like,
I wonder how that happened.
huh, I'm going to just go home now. And yeah, it's just, if you're going to carry a gun, put it in a freaking holster. A good holster that fits your gun.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
So we got a couple more things to cover about this. We need to talk about safe holstering, just so people feel safe having a loaded gun on them. And then we need to talk about why we should carry it around in the chamber due to how fast things happen. Okay, so Vincent, why don't you demonstrate? I'll hold your coffee. How to say you were like the best person to safely reholster an outside the waistband gun. Because if you guys don't know, Vinny is our resident machine gun here, and
Hi, guys.
he goes.
Now we owe
Super
$200
slow.
for him.
What?
You just called him a machine gun. Now we owe $200.
Don't tell the feds.
Vinny's gonna get his own text stamp.
I'm gonna get it serialized.
You should.
That'd be a
Vincent, that's a great idea.
That too.
Oh my
Just get my
gosh.
finger serialized.
It needs to be Pokey 1 2 3 or something.
I thought you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I was. Me too. I was like,
I thought
how's
it
she
was
gonna
gonna
clean
be
this up?
five numbers that everyone's in knows.
Okay. I think I know. I don't know. Anyway,
Anyways,
okay, so even as fast as he is still very cautious and intentional when reholstering. So take it away, Vin.
y'all, just to make the internet happy.
I'm gonna take this before it slips out of my hands.
There we go. Internet, are we happy now? There we go, internet. None of my guns. Awesome. So for safely reholstering, English hard. So, gun comes out of holster when you're going to put the gun back in the holster. This is my opinion. The internet might argue with me. I don't care. I do what I want. So, bringing the gun back to your chest, kick that hip out to the right when you're wearing an outside the waistband holster, because right now Phil pointed that laser gun down it. Guess where the laser be pointing? At my thigh. So I'm going to kick the gun out to the right. I'm personally going to roll my hip backwards. That way my gun is now pointed, relatively speaking, behind me. Finger comes straight off the trigger. I flag my finger away from the gun. We'll explain more about that in a moment. Then, for me personally, since I have a single action gun, one thing I like doing, it's not a necessity, I just enjoy doing it, I actually have my thumb riding on top of my hammer. And then I can point that gun into my holster, making sure it is clear, not flagging myself in the process of going down to it, and then I can push the gun into the holster nice and gently. If you play one of these games and you do everything I told you to do, you kick that hip out, you roll the hip backwards, you flag the finger away from the gun, you bring the gun back, and then you have this undesired urge to play this game, it offends me. There's no reason. It's dumb. It's dumb.
What if your holster doesn't stay open?
We see people do that
All
crap
the
all the
time.
time.
It's dumb.
Slam it in there.
Just try to shove it in there as hard as possible. It's dumb. It's unnecessary. I'll show you guys a secret for the internet. I push my gun in, line it up, everything's beautiful. Watch this. It was perfectly fine. It worked. It did the job.
What if your holster doesn't stay open?
What if it doesn't stay open? Get a better holster.
Yes.
If your gun comes out of the holster and the holster does not remain open under its own strength and it collapses in on itself, get a better holster.
Because
That's
why?
my personal one.
Because why?
Because if the holster collapses in on itself, what you're going to end up doing, you still got the fake gun on you?
Yeah.
I don't want to point my real gun at me. That'd be bad. Now we got fake gun. It shoots lasers. If you imagine that this holster collapsed in on itself, what everyone ends up doing is one of two things. Either one, they use their gun as a prying tool and try to pry the holster open, which ends up pointing the gun at themselves, or they take their other hand during the reholster, they hold it open with their hand to pry it open, and then they go to put their gun in the holster, which ends up pointing their own gun at their own hand. Either way, still bad. Either way, still bad. So, if you're going to get a holster, especially if it's outside or inside, whatever it is, that holster should be able to remain open under its own strength. If you take the gun out and it collapses, I'm not a fan. Are there a bajillion holsters like that that do that and people still use them just fine? Sure. That doesn't mean I like it. So, long story short, bring the gun back to your chest, relax, kick that hip out to the right, roll that hip backwards, flag your finger away from your gun, look at your holster, make sure it is clear, bring the gun back, making sure you are not flagging the gun at yourself, and then you can place the gun in the holster nice and gently, and you're good.
Very good.
One thing I like to tell people, you can draw the gun as quickly as you are capable of doing. But just because you get the gun out quickly doesn't mean you have to put it away quickly.
Now, what if
People could attest that I like to draw my gun fast here in this building. I like to do it. But I would also argue I'm probably one of the slowest ones to reholster in the building.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm one of the slowest. Mainly because most people, the majority of people, if you get into your oven and your knuckles touch the grate, it hurts. You learn from that lesson. I've also learned from a lesson on why safely reholstering is important.
Pay attention when you're holstering. Everything needs to be focused in on that gun. Make sure that you're loading your gun. Make sure that you're chambering around. Make sure that your slide goes home all the way. Make sure that you have your safety on if you have a safety. Make sure that you look the gun in the holster, and every single part of this process is intentional 110 bazillion% of the time. It's never
100%.
okay to get complacent here. I don't care how long you've been handling guns. I don't care how awesome you are at shooting. Always be intentional. Always be present when you're holstering a gun. It's huge.
It's just not worth the cool points that you think you get by holstering. It bothers me when I see somebody with an outside the waistband holster, like looking at their target and like
shoving
like bouncing their gun around trying to find the friggin' holster. Stop what you're doing. Point the gun at the target for a second. Look at your holster. Now put the gun away. You don't need to frickin' shove the thing in there.
So as a civilian, you definitely are not in any sort of requirement to holster the gun quickly. Like there's no reason to holster your gun quickly. So even after a defensive encounter, let's say the cops show up and they tell you to drop the effing gun. Drop the effing gun. Like you don't need to holster it. In fact, anything other than dropping the gun will make them be more concerned. But if you're law enforcement, you might need to go hands-on. You might need to switch to a less lethal tool or something like that. Obviously, there's there's all kinds of tactics that's not our wheelhouse. But to get good at holstering your gun without looking you need to practice looking first. Practice looking it into the holster. Practice with an empty gun. Look it into the holster every single time until you have developed that muscle memory to get it in there safely without looking. Don't just go for it thinking like, well, I got to do this without looking. I got to do this fast. You will not get fast until you practice it properly. Pay attention. Look it into the holster. What's so funny?
The peoples.
The people.
Oh,
I
Liz,
started something.
The mini pinky technique. Oh no.
I got you guys. I got you.
They want to have a ladies center class on the pinky technique.
I got you.
We'll have a guest instructor, but he'll have to come show us.
It's all in the pinky.
right.
We are in Baldwin, so we gotta have everything on the pinkies out.
Pinky.
Okay, so do you want to, since you got the cert gun and a holster sufficient for it, do you want to demonstrate conceal or appendix safe holster?
Appendix. So same thing, right? Anytime that I talk about holstering, Vinny says to flag the trigger finger, right? I always say over exaggerate the trigger finger coming straight off the gun.
I just realized the pants I used to wear today.
Why don't you talk about your pants? I always say over exaggerate the trigger finger, right? So if I'm out on target and I'm going to put my gun away, come back here to this ready position, I'm going to clear my garment, right? Because I'm coming from concealment. So I'm going to use my non-dominant hand, clear my garment out of the way, look in my holster to make sure that I don't have a part of my shirt, a part of my undershirt, little gremlins in there, anything like that, right? I'm going to look at it. I'm going to push my hips forward, okay, just so that as I put the gun away,
Talk about twisting the gun.
Yep, I over exaggerate the trigger finger. Here's something that we see people do a lot too. If you're a member here, you can get certified to draw a gun from a holster whenever you come in to shoot. And we'll see a lot of people that want to bring the gun back, turn it sideways, and just kind of roll it down into their holster. That's not okay. Now, are you flagging yourself? No. But you're absolutely pointing the gun at somebody else. So we tell you to bring the gun back, just simply roll the grip towards your dominant hand, and then point the gun down at the holster, okay? Over-exaggerating my trigger finger, pushing my hips forward, looking the gun into the holster. Nice and easy. I'm not going blind and just trying to stuff this thing in here somewhere. It feels...
bothers me.
That's not good. Gun can come out as fast as you want. You put it away slowly, purposefully, looking the gun back in the holster. There's no reason to reholster a gun fast. It's not freaking cool. It's dumb. That's what I see when I see people trying to slam guns away and put them away super fast, is dumb. Don't do that.
Awesome.
So that's holstering, understanding the safeties of your gun, putting the gun away safely. Those are reasons to that you can have a round in the chamber. Now, why do we actually want a round in the chamber, though? Liz, I don't even know what the hell's going on. Why you just run away? And...
I just gotta say, I see where Vinny gets his humor from.
I'm not gonna read it.
Anyway,
High five, Mom.
so why do we need to carry around in the chamber anyway? Because this is my favorite. I know we watch movies, and I know we look at these movies and say, like, okay, it's just a movie, it's not real. But if you have no other sense of how gunfights go down or how defensive encounters go down, your brain has the wrong baseline.
Yeah, that's what your baseline is.
That's
is
your baseline.
Gunfights in the movie.
And that
Which
means
have what?
lead up music, fog on the ground,
Yesterday in the Lady Sentinel group, when you mentioned that, all I was thinking in my head was, I want to make a video of that with some lead up music, and have fog on the ground here, so you can have time to get your gun out and rack it. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, and then you do your Charlie's Angels thing, like up against the wall and stuff like that, and yeah, I mean,
That's how it works.
And I know you guys are probably saying like, duh, like of course not. I watched John Wick, and so I know how shit goes down. It's not the same. It's not the same. Criminals are smarter than you give them credit for. They blend in very well. They might come in and close the gap, like, hey, Vinny, you got the time? And then while you look down at your watch, they're up here, right up on top of you. And you don't have time to get that gun out and rack the slide. What if someone was attacking you and you had to keep your hands on them to keep them away from you while you get your gun out and shoot down here? You're not going to be able to rack this. Hold on, just stay right there. Okay, got it. That doesn't happen. It is. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited.
We'll get the shop timer and prove it.
So, if you really want to see how some of these things happen, how fast these things happen, go check out Active Self-Protection YouTube channel. Watch some of those videos, and you will see real defensive encounters, and he even articulates very well, like, you know, what the good and the bad things were, even the legal stuff too. So, change your baseline. Get away from the movies. I'm not saying you can't watch movies anymore, but if you're going to carry a gun defensively, if you're going to make choices about carrying with a round in the chamber or not, I just want it to be an educated decision. Everything in this world is sacrifice. Every single thing. And if you understand the sacrifices that you're making, then those choices then become educated, and then you can choose what sacrifice is worthy for you. I think it's a really bad idea to carry a gun without a round in the chamber. I think it's a very bad idea.
I do too.
But I understand the apprehension. If you're going to carry without a round in the chamber, if you want to carry an empty gun, do it in your house. Get comfortable with it. Know your gun. Take it apart. Clean it. Know how the mechanics work. Shoot your gun. Take training with your gun, because just shooting at a static range where you're just standing there at a target that doesn't move, and a target, not that we have moving targets necessarily, but we do.
I'm trying.
We do different things that get in your head a little bit. You know, and that's another thing is, are you going to have the wherewithal, the mental capacity to rack your slide or turn off your safety? Or, I mean, like, what about the guns that have the safeties that don't allow you to rack the slide? You're going to turn the safety off, rack your slide. What do I put it back on? Like, what do I do? How do you train for that? It's so many fine motor skills, and it's just very complicated. Yeah, it's so. Let's lose it. Pull gun, rack slide on bad guy, chamber around, and discharge on, done. As long as you rack it on them, yes.
That's very true. Punch them in the face with it.
Use their face to do it.
Yes.
Muzzle thumb.
And that's all good.
It's another John Wick move.
Yes. So, timing is of the essence. And in our CCW class, we explain, you know, like in CCW, we shoot at 7 yards away. There's a reason for that. There's a very popular drill called the Tueler drill. And this is based on actually law enforcement and how fast they're able to get their gun out with a shot on target. Just one shot. That doesn't mean they're going. That's another movie thing. They're going to just fall to the ground and then they're done. You still have a fight after
fly
that.
through
Fly through a wall
Right.
with one round.
Yeah, one shot. 1 9 mil round.
Someone can cover 1.5 seconds on a very, very strong average, no matter how big they are, how small
7
they are.
7 yards in 1.5 seconds.
What did I say?
You just said they can cover 1.5 seconds.
Oh, sorry. 7 yards in 1.5 seconds. That's moving. How fast do we see our average person come to defensive 1, where we learn how to draw from a holster, or even defensive 2? And what's our average?
2.5.
You would say?
2.5, 2.5, 3.5. Somewhere around there.
See, I'd say somewhere between 3 and 4.
Yep.
I think in defensive 1, most people that are showing up there
3 is the normal.
Probably in that 3 to 4 second range, which is a long time. And it doesn't. He's like 3 seconds. That's fast. No. It's not that fast.
I get you to 2.
You need to be better than that. And then, unfortunately, what we see is people don't practice the stuff we teach them in defensive 1. They show up to defensive 2 and have to get rewired again.
Yeah.
And we tell people all the time that we don't teach you to a high level of proficiency in 4 or 5 hours, right? If we could do that, we would be traveling the planet doing this, because that would be awesome. We teach you skills to take home and practice. That's on you. You have to own the responsibility of that. I have wore my freaking thumb out trying to learn this new holster. I have a new holster with a new retention, and it's in a different spot. My freaking thumb hurts because I've been drawn from that damn thing so much. But that's what you got to do. You got to practice this stuff. I have to own the responsibility of the skill.
Yep.
I don't get to go buy the skill. I can't pay Elizabeth dollars for her to just give me skill. She can teach me, but I have the responsibility of having to practice it.
So could you practice drawing from your holster 5 minutes a day at home with an empty gun? And
Absolutely.
get very sufficient,
Oh, man.
very proficient.
You'd be 5 minutes.
Per day?
Oh yeah.
Holy crap!
5 minutes is a lot of drawing from a holster.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Good
Unload
draws.
your gun.
Good.
Yeah.
Draws.
Good draws.
Yes.
Being lazy.
Yeah.
And don't go too fast too soon. Work on the technique, work on the skill, and then
Watch. We have videos.
we got videos.
Where we have a timer, and you can take your time and go nice and slow. We purposely make the draw 3 seconds, and it takes a long time, and you can do it too. And then we gradually start bringing the times down. You can try to play along. If you start getting sloppy at 1.5 seconds, that's where you need to practice more. Okay, be honest with yourself. You'll see in the videos, I screw up stuff, she screws up stuff. I draw and my grip's not right or whatever. Call yourself out. Don't say, oh, I made the time. Well, okay, your gun was out and on target on time.
But was it good?
Yeah, and maybe you could have got one shot off, but after that, because your grip was crap, your follow-up shots would be garbage, so it doesn't do you any good. It all has to work together.
Yeah, for sure. We want to know what holster you got that you're working on.
I got one of them dumb Safariland level 27 holsters. So it's just a level 3 Safariland. I haven't had to do the freaking, what is it, the SLS, the hood thing. So that's what I'm learning.
So
the SLS, wait, the ALS.
ALS is the button.
Yeah, I got that. I'm good with that. But the SLS, the hood on the top, is what I'm having to learn. In the Safariland, now I'm going to get smart.
Now we're
This is a company that's been making holsters for a super long time.
Yep.
And they put the dumbest cant on their holsters.
so
It's
true.
that FBI can.
it's
So dumb.
It
It's
goes.
It's like this.
Yeah, it's. I don't
Mine's not
understand
canted that much. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like my
That's because I set your holster up.
Yeah. You
High
can.
Because I put it together.
I wish if I had my belt out here, you can see my mount for the belt looks like it's on there sideways, and it's just because you got to move all this crap around to get it to line up properly.
Oh, but are you using the core drop thing?
I'm using the
Okay, I think I got the True North one.
same thing though.
Same.
It's
But it
same
has
concept.
more options, though. Doesn't
Well,
it?
yeah. the
yeah, but
core
that's
has-
that's what I'm talking about. Is the plate
Is sideways.
is turned to account for to
I
take
see,
the
I
cant
gotcha.
away.
Yep.
It's dumb. Anyway,
fine.
they've been making holsters a really long time. They make awesome holsters.
Their cancer.
Except for the cant is, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother
Well, we
thing.
got a video on that coming soon, right?
Safariland Shuffle is painful. Yes,
It is.
yes, we do. We shot a video of some of the very first draws. I also had, and now I'm just being a little girl about this. I also had a little flared out piece of Kydex that literally wore my freaking finger raw. I had to go home and perform surgery on my brand new freaking holster. I had to cut it up and stuff and sand it down.
Don't say that on.
Oh yeah.
I'm in trouble now.
But anyway, at any rate, I've been practicing a lot, and I'm feeling much better about it. Still not great, just simply because it sits in a slightly different spot than what I'm used to, and having to break that hood. Yes, the Safariland Shuffle. I'm getting really good at that, which means that you don't get your gun out. Like it gets stuck in a holster. You're like, ah! That's
Getting
the
good at Safariland
that's the
Shuffle.
Safariland Shuffle.
Okay,
Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say about that.
that's all we got to say about that.
I don't even know if we covered everything. I think
I
we did.
mean, we tried.
we
You
did.
need to. You should carry with around the chamber.
Yes.
In our opinions, again, just like Liz said, if you still make the decision that for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable with it, that's okay. I don't think that's a great idea to actually carry the gun. I love the idea that Liz said about just carrying the gun empty in your house
Until you get
and do all the things that you do, right? You know, roll around on the ground, take a nap, whatever it is that you do, go shovel snow, clean your freaking car off.
Hey, careful now.
Whatever it is that you do, go do that stuff. And at the end of the day, take your whole holster off, take the gun out of it, and like, oh, the trigger's still forward. The gun did not go click at any point.
Don't just pull the trigger though. You check that shit first.
Absolutely.
I want to go to Phil's house. He just rolls around and then takes a nap.
It'll only work if you have a Glock or another gun that keeps the trigger back. But
That's
see
true.
your-
I mean, it
see your
depends on the
point.
gun.
Yeah.
Depends on the gun.
Or a striker indicator. That would be nice too. But
We got a question though.
What?
where can you find the videos on our YouTube?
YouTubes. Go to YouTube.
The range.
The Range
Yeah,
St. Louis West?
yeah, the Range St. Louis West on YouTube. If Charles is watching or listening, he can post a link to our YouTube
Charles?
channel.
We just like to say
Go
Charles.
watch those videos. Again, we have some, they're like 20, 25 minutes long of just us drawing. We have one from concealment of Liz and I, one from open, and then we shot one, we haven't edited yet, but we shot one just last week with the Safari Land stuff, just working on drills, essentially.
Yep.
Vinny was running me and Liz through some drills to try to bring our draw times down. And it's what you got to do. You got to practice. You got to.
Do it.
Hey man.
All right, that's all we got. I think that's all we got,
I
right?
think so.
I mean, we do got a lot more.
I have already have live topics for the next couple.
Cyber Monday is today.
Thanks, Paul.
We do have
Awesome.
deals going on. Paul, thank you very much. We have deals going on our online store. I think all the Black Friday stuff's done for in the store. I'm not positive about that, but I think so.
Yeah, they took down the signage.
But we do have Cyber Monday deals going on our pro shop. So you go to therangeSTL.com and then you can hit like online shop or whatever. Those deals are not in the store. So just keep that in mind. If you buy a gun there, those guns are not here in the store.
Them guns.
Them they are guns. You got it. They will be shipped here. You can come and pick them up. But we have 10% off. There's a code you can use. You should have gotten your email. I don't remember what the code is. If somebody on here knows the code, put it in the chat.
Charles.
Charles.
Charles! And you can save 10% on our website. So, that's it. That's all we got.
Okay.
Cool. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's
Oh,
supposed
well,
to snow
is it
today.
it? Is it supposed to snow?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm getting ready to turn it off.
I haven't even done the address
Well, hurry
or
the
the
heck up.
hours or awkwardness or anything.
Oh, thanks, Harry. He found the videos and he subscribed. Yeah, check
Thanks,
out our.
Harry.
High five.
Yeah, please like and subscribe to the videos. Our YouTube channel. We're gonna try to get better at putting more stuff up there, and ask us questions. Tell us what you want to see. We're happy to try and accommodate. We certainly can't accommodate everything, but we'll try.
Hey man.
10 to 8 Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 6. If you guys need something, come hang out with us. We got it. We have a gun range that you can come shoot guns in. That's fun. We have
Especially
all
with
sorts of
snowing
cool
outside.
stuff here that you can come by. That's fun. And we have some super awesome classes, especially if it's taken from me. They're fun.
Available.
Them, come hang out with us. You guys stay safe. Be nice to one another. We'll catch you soon. Later.
Toodles?